What's up YouTube, WePostE here, and today it's Victor bringing you guys a battle for our original series. And last time I asked for something more defensive, and boy, you guys really delivered. Let me just say, this is actually one of my more favorite teams to use at the moment. I am on the other side, the team with the Dragonair, Sceptile, Chandelure, Arcanine. Well, if you guys submitted a Pokemon, you would probably recognize it. It's an underused battle because when I was just starting to make the team, I kind of realized that there are a lot more underused Pokemon, and I just felt that it would be a better tier for this team to be in. Now, first of all, Dragonair, and once again, comments are going to be appearing as I talk about the Pokemon. Now, Dragonair, especially defensive with, yeah, that's about all I can say. A Violite. I used it because I figured that the dragon typing is actually not bad. There aren't that many dragons underused, and so its only really big weakness is to ice, which doesn't really matter too much because of that Arcanine over there. The Crocodile is the physically defensive and Intimidate. Now the person who sent that to me said that he never really tried it. Let me just tell you, you should probably try it. That was actually really helpful. It's my Stealth Rocker on this team. The Arcanine is especially defensive. It's there to remedy the ice weakness that this team has. It's especially defensive because of the Intimidate there, but it's mostly especially defensive. The Tim on top is physically defensive. It's the Rapid Spinner because this team actually has kind of a Stealth Rock weakness with the Chandelure and Arcanine being there. Sceptile is there to be special defensive. Subseeder. I put a bit of speed in there because I just want them to get the substitute off first, even though he can take water hits. And then there's Chandelure is there to be kind of the sweeper because I used the idea of Shitanoga and Sokyo suggested that this team be based around paralysis. So basically the goal is to try to spread paralysis everywhere and then just let Chandelure come in, clean up, and sweep. And the Stealth Rocks is definitely going to be their support because this team is kind of, it's stall, but it's good in a good kind of way because the stall is based around, how do I say this, it's not based around being a dick, like having a Blissey and just keep going for the soft boil. It's more clever than that, I have to say. And yeah, so let's get into this one, shall we? Also, I've noticed that this team has kind of a weakness to bulky waters. So that's why the Sceptile has Giga Drain instead of Drain Punch. So I'm pretty sure there's something else I can't remember, but I'm sure I will as the battle goes on. So let's just get on it because this is kind of long. So he's gonna lead off with Swampert. I'm gonna lead off with Crocodile, and I go for a taunt because I figured he might set up Stealth Rocks because I know that Swampert's like Stealth Rocks. He misses the Hydro Pump, and me going for the taunt, it's not really a misplay, and the Hydro Pump is really lucky that it missed. But I'm just gonna kick myself for the rest of the match for not clicking Stealth Rocks and it's clicking taunt instead. I mean, oh my goodness, you cannot believe how hard it was for me to try to get up my rocks in this game. I switch into Dragonair to take the Hydro Pump, and here I just like, oh wait, why didn't I switch into Sceptile instead? So I try to do that now, and I'm gonna go for Substitute here because I'm especially defensive. I want to see how well I take that Shadow Ball. I take it all right. It does a third, because I'm not fully invested in HP, but most of it is in HP. And now I'm going to go for Leech Seed just to get some health back, and I can go into Dragonair again, and now Dragonair has some recovery in the form of Leech Seed because it is a Violite. And the Marvel Scale coupled with Violite definitely makes Dragonair pretty bulky. I got my first T-Wave here. Now Miss Magus is essentially crippled because there's really nothing he can do. I'm going to go for a Rest here because I want that Marvel Scale boost just in case he wants to switch out, which I honestly thought he would because his Shadow Balls are not doing anything. He decides to switch out now, goes into Flygon, and I know the Outrage is coming. And there's also something funny about this team. After I made it, I realized that there's 3 Pokemon with Intimidate on it. It's just putting it out there. He's going to go for an Outrage. It actually does 43% to my Crocodile. That's probably a banded Flygon. This isn't, and he's -2 attack, and it still does 40% to my Arcanine, which granted is not physically defensive, but come on, that's -2 attack. I'm going to go for Will-O-Wisp just to bring it down to -4, because obviously -2 is not enough. I'm going to go for Morning Sun, knowing that he has to switch out this turn, and he brings in the Swampert, which is honestly the bane of my existence throughout this battle. Going to go into Sceptile, take that Hydro Pump, and I'm going to go for Leech Seed, because I really thought he would switch out. That was another one of the moves I was like, why didn't I just pull the trigger? There was really no need to over-predict right there. kicking myself. I'm going to bring back in the Sceptiles. He goes for the Hydro Pump because Sceptile is just taking those like a champ at the moment. He's going to bring in Victini as I go for Synthesis because I want my HP back up. I'm going to go into Arcanine because I can take V-Create, U-turns, whatever you have because of the Intimidate. He's going to bring that back in Swampert, and now I have to switch out because even though I want to get a Willis on there, I'm afraid of the Hydro Pump, I'm afraid of the Earthquake, I'm afraid of him selling up the Stealth Rocks because he still hasn't gotten those up, and I kind of want to conserve my Arcanine for that. Now, I'm going to go for Giga Drain here just because this time I decide not to predict, and of course this is the turn that he decides to bring in Victini and go for the U-turn again. So I go into Arcanine, which is basically exactly the same thing that we did before. I'm going to go in Dragonair this time just because I want to switch it up a bit. It does a quarter to my Dragonair, which is like, okay. I'm going to go into Sceptile, and he double switches into Flygon now, which honestly I don't know why because he's burned, so he can't really do anything. His Flygon is essentially death fodder at this point. He goes for the U-turn, doesn't do too much. I didn't really care about the U-turn because he would have been at -3 due to the Intimidate. I go into Hitmontop because this is my main counter to Mienshao for this match. But I just want to have a turn to set up my Stealth Rocks because it's been 26 turns. And because of I can't have it Crocodile in against Victini because U-turn. I can't have it against Mienshao, High Jump Kick. I can't have it against Swampert, Hydro Pump. So this is just essentially kind of hard. I'm just trying to find the opportunity to be able to set up my rocks because I kind of need them up right now due to all the switching that he's doing. I go for Morning Sun here just to see how much Hydro Pump does. It does 50% after leftovers, so that's good. I can just keep going for the Morning Sun. Maybe I can stall him out because at this point he has used 6 Hydro Pumps, so he has to use 2 more, and then my Crocodile is kind of home free there. Gonna go into Hitmontop once again because I really want those rocks away because Arcanine's kind of crippled and Chandelure is kind of crippled as well. And I also have Body Slam on the Arcanine just because it's built around Thunder Wave, and the only Pokemon that is Thunder Wave is Dragonair. So Body Slam's just there because Body Slam's 30%, which is, it's like a Scald. I'm going to go for Close Combat because I just want this Swampert dead. And it actually does an okay amount. I'm going to go for Rapid Spin because I feel prioritizing getting rid of the rocks over taking a Hydro Pump. I'm going to go into Sceptile here just because, although the Hydro Pump definitely limited my Hitmontop survivability a ton. I'm going to go into Crocodile now because now I figure I can get up the Stealth Rocks, but the thing, I'm afraid of the U-turn once again, so I have to switch out. Even though the Swampert no longer has the Hydro Pump, he's no longer a threat, I should be able to get it up pretty easily. I'm going to have to switch into Arcanine. Now I'm going to bring him back in my Hitmontop because Intimidate, High Jump Kick actually does a ton. Even though I'm physically defensive, 43%, guys, wow. I'm going to switch out because I don't want to take another one. He's going to go into Swampert, predicting my Chandelure switch. I'm just going to straight up go for the Energy Ball. Take out that Swampert. That is one big annoyance. Gone. 40 turns it took to take out one Pokemon. Whole battle. That's kind of stally, I have to admit. Going to bring in Dragonair. Going to go over get a T-Wave with the Sleep Talk. I don't want to stay in anymore, because I don't want to take an Outrage. So I'm going to go bring in the Crocodile. Finally, turn 45, I'm going to be able to set up my Stealth Rocks, guys. This whole battle has led up to this one moment of setting up Stealth Rocks at turn 45. Okay, he's going to go into Virizion as I double switch into my Arcanine, predicting the Virizion because I'm a total monster. And I'm going to take a Close Combat really nicely, to be honest. I'm going to go for a Will-O-Wisp, I believe. No, Body Slam because I was thinking Burn Paralysis. Then I was thinking, okay, this whole team's based around Paralysis, so just get the Paralysis there. And actually ends up paying off because Flare Blitz because I'm now can outspeed and go for Flare Blitz and take him out. So that's really nice. Going to go into Mienshao this time, mostly to Dragonair, mostly as Death Fodder, so kind of hoping he'd be able to take 3 Stone Edges, because at the moment my Hitmontop's at 10% HP, so this Mienshao is going to be the biggest threat on his team, because nothing can take a combination of Stone Edge and High Jump Kick. Due to the fact that Hitmontop is now really low, so that's why Dragonair was sacked. He's going to go for U-turn now with Arcanine. He's actually still being able to find some use for that Flygon despite it being burned, which props to him. Going to go for another Flare Blitz. That Paralysis is definitely helping this team, which is really slow. It honestly has, it has no Scarfer, so this team's kind of, in the speed department, which is why it relies on paralysis so much. He's gonna go high jump kick. I sacked my Hitmontop because he's not gonna set up rocks anytime soon. So Hitmontop's done his job, keeping the rocks off the field so that Arcanine and Chandelure can constantly take these switch-ins. I honestly thought that I knew I'd be able to take one Earthquake. I just didn't realize that it would do that much to Chandelure. I'm going to have to switch out again because I can't stay in. He's got the thing, and of course he's got the thing. And he's going to go for Bolt Strike, but just kind of the middle ground there. Going to Mienshao, and I'm going to get I was really hoping I was going to get the paralysis there, because then that would have been GG right there, but I'm going to go to Chandelure now, because Chandelure can't outspeed anything, and I'm not going to be able to chance to get anyone else paralyzed, so Chandelure was essentially death fodder right there. Going to bring in Sceptile, set up a substitute on the Victini, and I'm going to go for a Leech Seed, I believe, because Giga Drain, is not going to be able to take it out at 36% health, because I'm not invested in special attack, I believe. So I'm going to go for the sub-seeding shenanigans, just like being annoying, all that stuff. I'm faster than that Victini, which, the speed helps. Speed investment. Giga Drain this turn takes him out. That's good. He's going to have the Mienshao this turn, and Mienshao's like, I thought I would be able to take a high jump kick, honestly, but I just can't. So now I have to rely on Intimidate. Pray that after 3 Intimidates, that my Arcanine can live a Stone Edge. So those 2 Intimidates, 3rd Intimidate, can I live a high jump kick? Which is okay. I do. With 4% HP, take him out with the Body Slam. That is good game. Draken 001. Now, why he didn't go for the Stone Edge, I think I know, because he doesn't want it to miss. It's better to have that. He actually doesn't really know how much of a percent chance he'd get to take KO with a high jump kick, but he only have an 80% chance of KOing with the Arcanine, with the Stone Edge. So I guess he just didn't want to miss after all. Maybe one of you guys might be able to see if he still would have been able to KO if it was -3 Stone Edge. Probably. That was really close game. Hope you guys all enjoyed. If you want to leave an original set that you think would work, and that you'd want to see me use, please feel free, leave it in the comment section below. And I'll see you guys next time. Thanks so much for watching.